Welcome to The Anchored Voice. This is a podcast helping men to anchor life. I'm your host, Dr. Phil 2. Welcome to the program. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Phil 2, and we are live on the Anchored Voice podcast. This is a podcast helping men to anchor life. So guess what? What we're going to ask you to do right now, if you're watching, we're just going to ask that you go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. All right. So we are live on our channel. Guess what? We're also live on our we're live on our YouTube channel. We're going to be live on Facebook. We're also recording for our platforms, and we have been on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. So you can definitely listen here. We're so excited that we are able to do this podcast. And so we just love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe right here at McGuire ENTV. This is a product of McGuire Entertainment Group. This is a podcast helping men to anchor life. Now, we're going to get into a subject. But before we get into the subject, let me just give you a word from our sponsor. So this is sponsored by McGuire Wear. And you can get your different shirts from McGuire Wear. You can get I Will Not Fear. The one that I have on is God is crazy about you. You can get your hoodies. You can get your shirts. You can get Created on Purpose in your shirts, or I Love Jesus, or Prayed Up. So you can get whatever shirts. And guess what? We have a new line out for your ladies. Ladies, we have Not Broken, but Simply Unfinished. Not broken, but simply unfinished. And also Love is Our Legacy. Love is Our Legacy. And My MVP Looks Like Me. My MVP Looks Like Me. So you can definitely get our shirts, and you can get that at, guess what, McGuireENT.com, and go to our online store, and you can fashion your faith. So this hoodie I have on right now, God is crazy about you. You can get that. You can get anything. So thank you to McGuire Wear, who is sponsoring this podcast today. This is a podcast helping men to anchor life. And guess what our subject is today? Our subject is something I feel all men need to know and need to hear about. Subject is, that's right, capacity. Knowing your capacity. Do you know your capacity? Do you know how much you can handle within your time frame, within your day? Because guess what? If you're a person that is busy and loves getting into things, you will find yourself so swamped with things that you have met your capacity. So I want to know today, have you even learned your capacity? Hey, to England. All right. What's going on? What's going on? Thank you so much for chiming in on this podcast. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is a podcast for men, but guess what? We have a lot of women who are listening in. And that's a great thing, because you need to know what you need to do. Also, while you are also subscribing to our YouTube channel, we'd love for you to write us if you want to be a sponsor for our podcast at info@McGuireENT.com, McGuireENT.com. And if you want to be a sponsor for one of our podcasts, write us at info@McGuireENT.com. All right, let's go to our subject. Capacity. Wow. Have you learned your capacity? And that is a subject for me. Okay. I don't know if it's for everybody, but I definitely know that this podcast is for me. It's definitely a game changer for me, and being able to understand who I am and what I am about. So, we oftentimes want to know what is our capacity, how much can we handle within the day. And, we struggle with this. We struggle with knowing how much we can body within a day. It's like, man, we get so motivated. Like, wow, you know what? I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get that done. But then after a while, we meet our limit and we get burned out. And so, how do we really stop from being burned out? And there's a lot of people who get burned out real easy. And guess what? I am one of them. Okay, so this podcast is not just for you; it's for me because I'm learning. I'm learning how to know my capacity. First thing you have to do, and I'm going to give you only 3 points today. 3 points today on knowing your capacity. First of all, prioritize, and that is the key to a day. Now, one of my friends always tells me he writes down his days on a notepad. I've tried that. And I try that. Now, I usually have my day in my head because I know what today brings. I know I have a schedule. Now, sometimes, guess what? My capacity gets to a point I can't handle everything. So here is the key. The key to this is prioritizing what you need to do, versus what you want to do versus what you can do. Those are three different things that are critical. What do you need to do? I mean, and guess what? It's not just this is not just about your job or your career or your purpose. This goes into your family life. This goes into being at home, with you, prioritizing the things you want to do at home, the things you want to do in life. Everything takes priority. So what are the things that you need to do? And then you go with the things that what do you want to do versus what can you do? And those are critical things right now. So I've learned that there are some things that I need to do. Okay, I need to make sure this is done. I don't care what else doesn't get done for the day. I don't care what doesn't get done for this moment. But I know there are some things that I need to absolutely do. And I need to make sure I write that down or put it in the calendar or something happens along the way. But I know that at some point I need to put down what I need to do. So that takes priority. These are things that I need to do for the house. These are things I need to do for my bills. These are things I need to do for my children. And of course, everybody has some different priorities that you have that you need to do. But you also need to know what falls in line. And there are some things that you want to do. And sometimes the things that we want to do is the one that takes priority over even the things that we need to do. And there are games on your phone, or there is distraction on social media, or there is a phone call that you received, or there's a show that you're watching. And there are some things that, all right, these are just things I wanted to do. And guess what? You need to have self-care. So it's okay to have some self-care and know exactly what you need to do. But you have to get those things done. So but then you come to the point of, what can I do today? I can only do 1, 2, and 3. I can't do 4. I would like to do 4. I'd like to get 4 done, but I can't. And so we kind of struggle every day with what are the things that we can do. And the reality is we have to be okay with saying these are just things I can't do today. I can't do it today, but I can make sure that tomorrow it gets done. Nobody's promised tomorrow, but you can only handle what you have today. And I'm learning this. I'm learning exactly, okay, today, this is how this day is going to go. This is what I'm prioritizing for today, because it's going to make my life a little easier. It is all about knowing my capacity. Do you know your capacity? Have you met your capacity? And if you're a person that likes to get involved with different things, you find yourself saying yes. And so, depending on the culture, sometimes it's offensive to say no. So, another way of knowing your capacity is learning the different ways to say no. And I'm learning this right here. I have struggled with saying no, with saying no. I've struggled with this, but I've also learned with there are different ways to say no. There are ways to say no without being offensive, especially when you have people in different cultures. You have to be able to come through in a different manner, in a different mannerism. It's not just about saying no, it's all about saying, listen, I would love to, but I can't right now. I would love to, but this doesn't work for me right now. I would love to attend your meeting, but right now I have other things that I need to accomplish for now. Or maybe you don't have to give a person an excuse. It can just be, I cannot do this right now. I've met my capacity. My capacity will not allow me. And so when we get to that point, because we are trying to protect ourselves from burning out, we're trying to protect ourselves from doing too much where we can't even do the things well. There's this quote by William Godwin. It says, we cannot perform our tasks to the best of our power unless we think well of our own capacity. Meaning you can't really perform well if you're taking on too much. Your energy will go down. Your power of thought will be clouded. And so when you get to the point and you realize what is your capacity, you start realizing, okay, I can't do this right now. I can't handle this right now. And I'm a person that is on many committees. I get so many notifications. Hey, here's this meeting this day. Here's that meeting that day. It just came to a point I had too many meetings, too many committees I was a part of, too many ministries I was helping out. And I'd love to, but there are days I cannot make these things. And sometimes it's not even my busy schedule. It's just my bodily and emotional capacity for things. And some days I'm just like, you know what, I can try, but you know what, I can't do it today. Here's the day that I can do it, or here's how I will accomplish it. But I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning to say no. I'm learning the different ways to say not this time. I'm learning the different ways to say I would love to, but I can't. And when you get to that point, you have really accomplished a lot. How many people have said no to you? How many people have told you they can't do that right now, and without any excuses? And you've respected that. Like, okay, all right, cool. Let's schedule a time that this can happen. But there are times where I just have to realize, you know what? I would love to be a part of it this season, but this season is not going to be good for me. Right now, I want to get something else done. And I've met my capacity in ways that emotionally I've been spent. Emotionally, I've gone through stuff, and emotionally I can't handle certain things. So guess what? It gets regulated to, not that I don't want to, I just can't right now. I'm up to my limit. I need a break. I need to be able to step back, enjoy my family, enjoy my time to myself. And I'm learning how to pour into myself, my time, and protect my time, protect my comfort time, and say, okay, I'm done with work. Now, being a pastor, you're pretty much a pastor 24/7, but having a schedule and having things that you can do within this time frame, and you do those things in that time frame, then the rest of your time is protected, and you make sure that it's protected. And you find yourself in a better mental space. And we are finding ourselves, especially during COVID, especially being at home, we have filled our capacity more than we want to. We have realized that people said, oh, they're home, they've got nowhere to go. So now everybody's scheduling a Zoom call. And I am zoomed out, everybody. I'm zoomed out. I've met my capacity for Zoom calls. I've met my capacity for being on Zoom for so long. and, being at a meeting more than I need to be. Now, there are some things my job will call for being on a meeting. That's cool. But there's some extra things that after a while, I just can't attend that. I can't even attend that Zoom call. I'm home, but I can't attend that Zoom call. I'm home, and I can just click a button and be on screen. But right now, I've met my mental capacity. I need a break. I need time to myself or time with my family. And every time you schedule a Zoom call, when it's my family time, I found that certain people, certain organizations, they know how to really uh do too much during family time. As Father's Day comes around every year, and it's like people say, oh, let's do this banquet on Father's Day. Well, fathers don't necessarily want to be at a banquet. Men, we don't necessarily want to go to a dinner. We don't necessarily want to do this activity. You want to do something for a man during Father's Day, take him to a ball game, take him golfing, take him out to do something he really wants to do. But I found, especially in church life, they always got some kind of banquet to do on Father's Day. They try to maximize family time. And there are times like, I can't do it. I can't make it. I'm going to just chill out and do the things I really want to do. And I found that, and I'm going to address this in finding your purpose, but many people like me, I'm a podcaster, I'm a pastor, I sell vision, and I try to help people with their vision. Now, one of the things I've realized is that people come online and they have great passion for what they like to do. They had great success for what they're doing, and their passion is so great that now they try to tell you, hey, you can do this too. And you are so enamored with their presentation. You're like, wow, they are so energetic about what they're doing and how they've got it done, and you can do it. Be careful to fall into traps where you are now signing up to do somebody else's vision when it's not really yours. Know your capacity even for somebody else's vision or somebody else's excitement. There are people that, oh, you can do this. Oh, I did it great. I made this amount of money. I made this amount of this. And then you get into it, but it's not really your passion. Make sure you protect the capacity of your passion and make sure that you are doing the things that are about you and your capacity, about your family, about your business. Now, if it's helping your business, then that's great. But be careful to really fall into the trap of going into somebody else's capacity and then overdoing yours. Third thing is believe in your capacity. Believe in your capacity. Believe in the things that are about you. Now, you may have to increase your capacity so that you can get a lot done. Somebody said that if you want to get things done, give it to a busy person, because a person that's busy knows how to prioritize everything in that time frame. They're like, wow, you know what? I got a meeting at this time. I've got to get A, B, and C done. And they work a little bit faster. There are things that get kind of left on the shelf that don't get done, but busy people know how to get things done. But when you know your capacity, then you become more productive, because then maybe it's a book you want to write. Maybe it's stocks you want to invest in. Maybe it's ministry that you want to create or a business you want to create. And don't be caught up in somebody else's capacity or somebody else's time so much that you don't get done what's according to your purpose. So this is critical for men, for men who are striving and trying to anchor through life. This is critical that we know our capacity, how much we can handle within a time frame. It's not just a day, it's a time frame. And some people, they try to master your own capacity and say, well, oh, you can't do it today. Well, can you do it tomorrow? Can you do it next week? And you know what? Let me get back to you on that. Because you've got to know your time. You've got to know your space. You got to know who you are. You got to know this is what I can handle. This is what I cannot handle. And it is okay to say not right now. It's okay to say not this week. Maybe it's not this week that you can handle that. Maybe it's not this month. Maybe it is just not a priority for you. So be careful to fall into somebody else's priority while you are trying to handle yours. It's okay to say, I can't right now at this point. Doesn't mean that at some point you won't get involved, but you've got to prioritize your space. You've got to prioritize your time. We just want to make sure you as men are out there and being the best you that you can be, being as productive as you can be. But if you're going to win at life, you've got to know your capacity. My mother, my friends, my wife constantly are on me. Hey, can you handle that? Is that too much? Trust me, I hear it all the time. And I got to that place. I got to that place where I've had a grief capacity. If I'm going to be honest with you, I've had a grief capacity. I've met my capacity of attending funerals, of hearing about people's death. I mean, I love to pray. I'm a pastor. That's what I do. I pray for people. But at the end of the day, there's only so much I can handle with grief. Especially after losing my dad, not even a year. I mean, it's been half of a year. I've met my grief capacity. I know that there is only so much I can handle emotionally. And when you are getting to that stage and you realize, wow, you know what? This is not in line with my capacity. It's not in line with my space. I need to step back. You know what? No, I can't attend this. No, I can't get on this call. No, I won't be able to participate in this because right now I just need a break. I need time. That is about mental health. That is all about productivity. And you will be more productive when you learn to say no. I'm learning this. So as I learn, guess what? I teach. And as I go through all that I have to go through, I help others, I counsel others, but I also know there's time for me that I need to take care of, time with God that I need to take care of. And, you know, God will let you know, like, bro, this is not going to work for you today. You're going to need to step back. You're going to need to relax for a minute. Hey, take the day, take your lazy day. Do nothing today. Be disconnected today. And it's okay. Know your capacity and know when it's okay to just be lazy, to just do nothing. Even when you're doing nothing, you'll still be productive. And don't be afraid to just say, this is not something that I can do today. You know, write in the chat room if I'm making sense too. Listen, this is the Anchored Voice, a podcast helping men to anchor life. Thank you so much for joining in. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, McGuire ENTV. McGuire ENTV. Please let us know if this podcast is also helpful for you. And also, if there's some subjects that you feel we need to address as men, write us at info@mcguireent.com. info@mcguireent.com. McGuireent.com. I usually put this in all the podcasts description and also the YouTube. So you can do that right now. But let us know. There's a subject that really means a lot to you. This podcast is also sponsored by McGuire ENTV, McGuire Wear. So you can check out McGuire Wear on our online store. And if you love to share this, we'd love for you to share this out. Please like the video. Please also share it as we continue to bring topics that are beneficial and relevant to men. Know your capacity. And when you get to that stage and you know what you can do versus what you want to do or what you need to do, you'll understand your priorities for life. This is a podcast helping men to anchor life. Thank you so much for joining our program. And this is Dr. Phil 2. This is a product of McGuire Entertainment Group. And we're so glad that you have joined us this time. All right, till next week, the Anchored Voice, stay anchored. Thank you for listening to the Anchored Voice. For the video edition of this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, McGuire ENTV. For audio, listen on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Stitcher. Until next time, stay anchored.